Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. Wasn't a fan of the first Nut Job film, and I definitely was not a fan of any of the trailers for The Nut Job 2. So needless to say, I was not really looking forward to watching this film. And in the end, it came in right about on par with where I had anticipated. But that's not to say it isn't without its positives, so let's go ahead and discuss those first. All of my favorite moments in this film revolved around Jackie Chan's little mouse character and his troupe. I thought he had the best lines. I thought he was the funniest character of them all. He had really fun, cute animation. So Jackie Chan in that role and just that little mouse character and his troupe of mice were my favorite parts of the entire film. I also think that the film does messaging very well. It has quite a few different messages all pushed into this one movie, but I thought they all came across and they were all done well. There's a message about working together and putting in hard work as a group, and it doesn't matter what size you are, whether that be economically or physically, you can get things done as a group. I also highly appreciated the political satire that was going on throughout with the character of the mayor. I thought that was great. And I enjoyed the more environmental aspects about destroying the land that we have within cities or on the outskirts of cities. And then not only the effect that's going to have on your economy and of course the animals that live in that land, but also what do those animals then do? They come into the cities and in turn it all comes down to affecting us. So it showed how everything is just so interconnected. When you do something to this random field, what ripple effect is going to come back and bite you in the butt? And I think the character design, for the most part, is really nice, and the animation looked good, so that's a positive as well. But there were also many, many negatives for me here. The first of which is that it just wasn't funny. I didn't actually laugh once in this entire film. I did one of those little, a couple times maybe, but never actually got out a laugh. And a big part of that is that these writers just go for the low-hanging fruit every single time. They have a shot to make it maybe a little bit more highbrow or a nice punchier joke, but they go for the lowest common denominator instead. So we're given a ton of potty humor, just gross out jokes throughout the entire film, much like the first one. But we're also given a ton of puns. And actually, there was a really nice little self-aware moment that happens in the climax of the film, where somebody makes a bad pun, and the other person is just like, ugh. And that's kind of me in a nutshell. I was that guy to pretty much every single joke that happened in this film. They just were not landing. And I think tone also has something to do with that. This movie is trying to mix modern day cynicism with old school, over the top, exaggerated cartoonisms. And that was kind of perfectly encapsulated in the mayor's daughter, this little girl. She is such a throwback to what so many cartoons throughout history do. And it's almost always the daughter, it's always a little girl it seems, that is just a complete terror. She's just running around, she's obnoxious, she's spoiled, she's a terror on everyone. And so they have that trope here in this film as well. But oh my goodness, she has way too much screen time and she's just horrible. Every time she's on screen is literally nails on a chalkboard to me. But she was such a cynical brat, but also so over the top and cartoony. Same thing with our villain, the mayor. He was a great spoof on modern day politicians and, capitalism, but just so over the top. All of the gags are so over the top, so unbelievable. You have animals getting run over by cars and just being oh, 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 and then bouncing back up and going. People flipping over inside of bulldozers and still being okay. But all the characters, as we learned in that first one, still have that cynical mean streak to them. And not many of them are actually that likable. I think they did do some to kind of flesh out, especially Surly. To begin in this film, he gets a nice little backstory with Buddy, which I thought was nice, which was a much needed touch. But honestly, it's kind of like Buddy and Jackie Chan's little mouse were the only characters I liked through and through. Everybody else either came off as kind of grating, came off as kind of mean, came off as stupid. We don't really have good characters here. We don't have full, rounded, solid characters. And the story does feel very thin, which is understandable because the plot line is very straightforward. Save the park from an amusement park being built over it. But first of all, this is a way over exaggeration because there's no way on earth the amusement park like it was would have been approved or even been started to build, but that's bureaucratic tape for a different film. I can definitely forgive that. But we just went on so many like little weird side adventures. So a lot of the movie did kind of end up feeling like filler. Like, oh, we don't know what else to stretch the runtime out with. Let's have them go do this thing. So overall, the Nut Job 2 doesn't do all that much different from the first Nut Job in my opinion. And thus, if it is any better, it's just marginally. But it does have some good takeaways, it does have some nice messaging in there, and unlike the first one, it actually does have a couple of feel-good moments. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give this a rental. I don't think you need to pay theater prices to see this. We've had better animation this year, certainly. There are other things that you can take your children to go see that are still higher quality. But it's a decent enough time killer if you only pay $1.50 for it from Redbox or On Demand. So, that has been my review of The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature? What did you think of the first one? And what is your favorite animals as lead characters animated film of all time? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!